it sink in. Hip hop vibes, we break it down. Laughs and insights all around.
You're welcome everybody to another Snake Cinema podcast. I'm your host, Prince Elias, and today is going to be a good day. Today is my nephew's party. We are in Nashville right now, getting ready for my nephew's birthday party. His birthday was last week, but this week we're celebrating. It's a pool party, so we at the hotel right now, uh, having a good time. Well, everybody's eating breakfast while I'm doing this. But anyways, this is going to be a great episode because we're celebrating three things all in once. We're celebrating Juneteenth, that's coming up next week. Celebrating June is also Black Music Month, and we're celebrating Pride Month. So, this episode, I put all three together, and we're going to be celebrating, or I'm going to be highlighting my favorite Black queer music artists. So, this is going to be a music episode dedicated to music artists and that I love, that I currently listen to, or that I grew up listening to. We're gonna do a little mix and match. This won't be a countdown, an official countdown like I usually do, where I do my top 10. This is just me highlighting, sharing artists that I love, whose music means the world to me. So let's go ahead and get started with the show. But before we begin, this episode and every episode, I forgot my hat. It's back home in Memphis, but this episode and every episode is brought to you by ENT Reptiles, Orlando and TJ. Thank y'all for supporting the channel, supporting both shows on this channel, and supporting your boy. I appreciate y'all, Orlando and TJ. Y'all are amazing. So thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Let's look in the Chizzy chats. I'm on my phone and on the laptop because a week or so ago, my webcam and my laptop are beefing and don't want to connect with each other. So we are double duty. And so let's see who's in the Chizzy chat. So if I look off, that's because I'm looking at the computer. Sorry, y'all. Let's see. First, we got the first half of ENT Orlando. Thanks for tapping in, bro. Love you. Did we have the other half? TJ, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Mitzi and Parker, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate y'all. Always supporting. Let's see. Robinson, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Love you. Thank you. Thank you for always supporting. Let's see. Who else done crept up in here? Eric B. No Rockeezy. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Tinkerville. Caw, Wiz. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Hope you and the fam are doing good. Also, check out Wiz's channel tonight. Sophisticated Ignorance. We'll be driving back from Nashville, so I don't know if I will hop on. If I do, it's gonna be super late. Cause as soon as my nephew's birthday party over, we hitting the road going back to Memphis. But check out Wiz's channel, Sophisticated Ignorance, tonight at 8:45 ish. Cause y'all know he always start late. Central Time, the real time zone. Let's see. Anyone else? Oh, just Eric and Mitzi flirting this out. Thank y'all, everybody for tapping in. Appreciate y'all. So, not gonna be before y'all long. I will do quickly, just in case I forget at the end. of the show. Next week is going to be another music episode. Yesterday, while we were driving on the road, I went and looked at Spotify because I got bored. Whoa, so many people dropped new music yesterday, whether it was albums, whether it was singles, and I had to take a listen for those 3 hours on the road. So next week's episode, I'll be reviewing Vince Staples' new album, Crybaby. I'll be reviewing YG's new single that he did with Absol and JID. There's a new album from the group Infinity Song. If y'all don't know Infinity Song, y'all need to tap in because that group, it's a sibling group, and their alternative R&B pop music is, oh my gosh, I'm a rave about them next week. And then Rhapsody, one of my favorite rappers right today, Rhapsody, she dropped a new song called God Has an Afro. Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna talk more about that on next week's episode. It's gonna be music this week and music next week. Um, Cause man, I was just blown away by all the, and then there's more music that's in other genres that has dropped yesterday. I don't know why yesterday was such a significant Friday for everybody to drop their music, but I ain't complaining. Project Pat, brother, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Y'all tune in. Pat usually every Sunday has a special guest hop on um and show their collections, and it's been getting better. His guests have been getting better and better by the week. And then of course he also goes live every almost damn near every day. Whether he's cleaning snakes or just chilling in the house with Miss O. By the way, hey Miss O. So yeah, tap in. Project Pat always live. A little bit of everything. If you're not subscribed, you need to subscribe. All right. So before we get started with me, as the young kids say, glazing, these new terminologies, I don't know. But before I start raving about my favorite queer artists, I'm going to have some caveats because y'all know us in the black community. You know, we got our artists that we say are queer and they ain't never came out and said nothing. So I am the type of person, I don't believe in outing people. That's just not me. Now, Um, that's just not how I roll. So if I don't mention any artists, it's either because they've never outed themselves or we just don't know. It's just people speculate, and I don't do the rumor mills. And the reason why I labeled Black queer artists is because the LGBTQ community, the Alphabet Gang, it's a whole plethora of us. And, you know, some artists are gay, some are lesbian, some are bi. Um, and some are just in between, non-binary, trans, whatever. So I just use queer as a umbrella term of not straight, not strictly hetero. So also the people on this list, like I said, I don't believe in outing people or listening to rumors and stuff because I know when some people do their favorite queer artist, they like to throw in Prince because he was androgynous, or they'll throw in David Bowie or Michael, and it's like, no, none of them have ever came out and said that they are in the Alphabet Gang. So I'm not going to do that to them. So the criteria for this list, they had to either out themselves, either in interviews, in their music, because some artists have never talked about their identities or their orientations, but they might have mentioned if it's a male, or I had a boyfriend, or I like this dude in a song, or vice versa. If it's a girl, they might use she, her when they talk about their partners, or someone they broke up with. So they have to either out themselves in the or not out themselves, but they have to confirm their identity either in interviews, either in their music, their art, whether it's, you know, lyrics or whatever, or for one person in particular in this category, never really confirmed for so many years, but they've always had a partner of the same sex. So those are the only three criterias. Now I will do an honorable mention of two artists because they are like the greatest vocalists ever, in my opinion. And it's only because people in their lives, people in their personal lives, whether it was relatives, whether it was parents, best friends, or even rumored partners, have came out later in life and said, yes, this person was queer, gay, bi, whatever. So my honorable mentions that I'm gonna go ahead and mention now, because they're not a part of the official list, are with the ancestors. They are two. They are legends. Like I said, they're like the greatest vocalists of all time. So they are my honorable mentions, just because they were outed by people in their lives years later after their deaths, and that is Luther Vandross and Whitney Houston. They never officially came out on their own, but people in their lives have outed them. So they're not on my official list. I'm not going to officially say they're part of the alphabet gang, but you know what I'm saying? Uh, so those are my honorable mentions. Now let's get to the official list. Now these queer artists, like I said, this is not a top 10. There are no particular order. I'm just going to do old school and new school. And by new school, pretty much any artist that has came out the gate, did not care, like if it from like, let's say, early 2000s and now. Old school is people pre that. So the people I grew up with, cuz despite what Ash says, I am an 80s baby. So, people from before I was born up until the early 2000s, the people I grew up with in the 80s, the 90s, those are considered old school in my eyes. And also, new school are pretty much the artists that I still listen to, like right now, currently. And they're actively still releasing music right now, currently. So, we're going to start off with the old school first. We're going to pay respect to our elders and our ancestors who paved the way and the reason why we are still who we are and why a lot of us are able to be out. And also, last criteria. I'm not picking them on this list just because they're part of the alphabet gang, even though we are celebrating, the queer community, black queer community. Um, I'm celebrating them because they are actually fucking talented. Even if we did not know that they were gay or bi or lesbian or trans or androgynous or non-binary, even if we did not know their identity or orientation, they are so fucking talented that their music is beyond who they are or who they love or how they identify. So they are actually talented people, actually got some skills, some gifts that God has blessed them with, or the creator or the universe has blessed them with, and they tap into something so well that their music actually precedes everything else, to the fact that you know them for their art rather than who they are. They just happen to be, you know, part of the alphabet gang. So let's start off with the legends, the ancestors, those who's paved the way and came before us. So we're going to start with the first OG, and that is Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Sister Rosetta Tharpe was considered the godmother of rock and roll. She pretty much started or invented, like not invented, but she pretty much paved the way and made famous the mixture of gospel with rock and roll. She used the electric guitar for most of her music, before it was, a big thing. Her guitar skills and her gifts were so good that there are so many rock and roll artists to this day, regardless of gender, identity, race, whether you from the US or the UK, a lot of people started or got or learned from this woman. She is a legend. Again, she's the godmother of rock and roll. She came out in the 1930s. Um, and she's just one of them ones. And she's one of the and I didn't get introduced to her till much later in my college years when I went and back when I thought I was going to be a music producer, like because I was looking up to Timberland and Kanye and stuff. So when I started taking music classes in college, um, I was introduced to Sister Rosetta Tharpe because certain, music basics, 101 piano lessons and things like that, those type of classes, they talked about her along with some other musicians. So I had to actually go out and do my research in my early 20s and actually listen to some of her stuff. And man, when they say she was a bad woman on the guitar, they weren't lying. Like that one, that woman was good on that guitar. Like for real, like the skills is unmatched. Like she really had a gift, and she had a voice. She's a great singer. But yeah, a legend in the making, and she just happens to like the ladies. She just happened to be on the queer spectrum. So it's good to have a legend, an ancestor, someone who, like I said, from the 1930s started the damn thing and is considered the godmother of rock and roll. Speaking of rock and roll and legends, you know who's next on this list. We got to talk about the father of rock and roll, the architect, the king, Mr. Little Richard. Like there's nothing to be said. He is a legend in his own right. He started this shit, the rock and roll we know today. Um, I believe before he passed away, he even came out and was like, a lot of y'all favorite stars, they went on tour with me. I brought them on tour. They were my opening act, like the Beatles and stuff. Like can't nobody take that away from him. Like people be worshiping and falling out over these legendary rock stars, and they looked up to him. They were his opening act. He put them on. He put them on tour. He the reason why a lot of us know certain legendary rock and roll artists today, both black and white. And I'm happy that people are now starting to give him his flowers. He was demanding his flowers before he died. Like when people would show up would ask him to come to the Grammys to present an award or whatever, he told them flat out at the Grammys, why is it that I've never gotten a Grammy a day in my life? As he's presenting the award to whatever artist of the year. Like I love Little Richard. He was very outspoken, very um confident in his own right, and I just really love him and I respect him. So Little Richard, a legend in the make not even in the making, a legend in and of himself. He is an ancestor to all of music, like just the greatest to ever do it. Let's see. Orlando said, but we know the real. Yeah, yeah. They might not have said that, but we know the real. What up, Brandon? Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. All right. Next up, still in the legend category. Now we're gonna switch it up a little bit. We paid honor and gave flowers to the rock and roll legends. Now let's go to the disco era, the queen of disco. And to me, for me personally, I'm not saying this, but for me personally, this artist wasn't just the queen of disco, but I feel like the architect of EDM, the architect of dance music, because disco really did morph into dance music when you think about it. Um, and that is Sylvester. Um, for those who don't know, Sylvester famously, famous hit, You Make Me Feel My Heart Is Real. Yeah, Sylvester. Sylvester had a lot of other great hits, but that's like the OG. Like that's the song that just automatically it be on every karaoke machine. You know what I'm saying? It be played at every pride. parade in every gay club. Like Sylvester, oh my gosh, I love Sylvester. I Sylvester is another one of those artists that I wish had their flowers and gave their and was given much, much more love and appreciation from the music industry back when they were alive. And even though the disco era, compared to other genres, the disco era was pretty short. Like it was a hit and it was, in its peak, everybody was disco, disco, and then it just died just abruptly. um, I feel like everybody, black, white, gay, straight, everybody owes the disco era some more credit than that they were given. Because when they were hot, they influenced a lot of other music. Like I said, dance music, EDM, um, R&B, gospel, pop. Like they made when we used to say when we say now people don't dance no more in clubs, people don't have fun no more in clubs. Disco created having fun at clubs, dancing, being like you had an actual. You go to a club and there's an actual dance floor for that reason. People aren't just standing up, just posting and looking and. No, no, get your butt on that floor and boogie on down. You know what I'm saying? And Sylvester was one of those architects that ahead of his time. And love, love, love Sylvester. Love, love, love Sylvester. Let's see. Is there anyone else in the old school category? Let's see. Old school category. Ba ba ba. Okay, we got yes. I do got one more in the old school category. So we talked about rock and roll. We talked about disco. Now let's talk about hip hop. And like I said, these are people, this is someone that I grew up on. As a kid, she was, even though she never like publicly say I'm gay, she's had a partner forever. And we pretty much know. You ain't got to say nothing. She did recently do an interview with, she recently did an interview with Angie Martinez where she did actually talk about her relationship and being queer, but we been knew back when she first came out what the real was. But um and that is the hip hop legend, the queen herself, Queen Latifah. Um like I said, she's the queen. She's one of the legends. She's one of the ones. She's one of the people that like early '90s hip hop. Like did the damn thing. And even though she did she transitioned her career from being a rapper to an actress. She still got the skills. Like she's been popping up here or there at different award shows at different places. And I think it was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It was either the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or no, the Grammys when they were celebrating 50 years of hip hop, and she came out and was rapping, and she still got it. And they just announced that she is coming out with an album. Like she announced that she's coming out with new music. So super excited about that. But yeah, I love me some Queen Latifah. Great actress, but most importantly, amazing rapper. She still got them skills. She's still one of them ones. You can't take that away from her. She's a legend. And I'm happy she's still here with us so we can give her flowers. And I just love seeing her on the red carpets and stuff, at events with her wife, her partner, and their child. I believe they got a son. Yeah, and it's so cute seeing them together. It's like goals, just seeing them together. And she's just living her best life, and I love that for her. Father Don, thanks for tapping in. You already know. Father said Queen Latifah is the one, the two, and the three. Yep. Thanks for tapping in. All right. I think that's it on my legends or old school. I say old school, people who I grew up with. who had music out before I was born up into the 2000s. Now let's get to the new school. Let's get to the baby queers, the baby alphabet gang, uh, the younger crowd. And like I said, this is in no particular order. Um, this ain't no first, second, or third. I just really love them and I love listening to them. I will do this though. I am going to start off with someone who hasn't dropped music in forever. And until he drop music, if he ever drop new music, he gonna be at the bottom because it's been a minute. It's been a long time since he gave us anything. So let's start off with Frank Ocean. To this day, I still listen to Channel Orange, the album Channel Orange. And now I know a lot of people love Blonde. I get it. Blonde, it took Blonde a minute to grow on me. I'm not gonna lie. It took a minute for the Blonde album to grow on me. Um, the album where he released just to get out of his contract, with the record label where he was live streaming on YouTube, like building a wall or building some stairs or something. That album I really loved. Um, I forgot the name of it, but that I when it came out and he was doing that whole live stream thing, just playing it, I loved that. Music was amazing. But Channel Orange, Channel Orange is still one of the greatest albums out there. Frank Ocean Slick pulled pulled the oh man, uh shoot, Lauren Hill. I'm sorry, her name just left my brain. He slick pulled a Lauren Hill, as in he could have just dropped Channel Orange and just left it at that and still been considered a legend, a goat. That's how great that album was. It still is. Like I still listen to tracks off there to this day. Like Thinking About You and um Cab Driver, and it's a bunch of other stuff. There are other songs on there that I still listen to and tap in, that's still on my playlist that I listen to this day. And that album's been out for almost a damn near a decade, I think. And like I said, when he released Blonde, and that's the one that everybody like glazes like crazy. It took a minute. I have to admit, I did not like it at first. It did take a minute for me to appreciate it, but as I gotten older and listen to it a little bit more, I do appreciate him as an artist. I do appreciate his artwork and his creative mind, his lyrics, and he's just dope. He's just dope. Frank Ocean is dope, but he need to come out with some more music. Like Frank, I know you probably got enough money to where you ain't gotta drop any more albums, but motherfucker, drop something, a single, something. But yeah, I love me some Frank Ocean. He's a talented dude. All right, let's do the next one. Now, I just reviewed his album, his most recent album, and it's so good. And I love that he's so open about his life now, even though he was outed in the worst way possible by some haters, by an ex, by whatever. I'm happy that he's now living in his truth and he's embraced it, and he's actually added that into his music, and that is Isaiah Rashad. I love him. I loved him ever since he first came out. I really thought he was a talented rapper, one of them rappers that just really got the skills, the lyrics, the cadence, and the songwriting ability to back up everything. So when he came out as bi, I was like, ah, yes, great, because I like having black men, black rappers living in their truth and still giving us dope music despite all that. Like, despite, you know, people did clown him online in the beginning when he was first outed. People were very homophobic and very low down. You know, the internet does what the internet does. But I'm happy that he's now living in his truth. He's embracing it. He's open, and he's even speaking on it in interviews like mental health and the the biphobia of the world, how people automatically say, oh, if you're a black man, you're just automatically gay, and that's not true. Like, bi people exist. They could love men and women equally. Like, it's possible. Like, you ain't gotta just choose one. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy that he's actually speaking on that in his interviews, because not a lot of black men speak on it, especially with the black culture. We talk about DL and all this other bullshit online and stuff like that. Is I'm happy to see him embrace who he is, but still delivering and giving us amazing music on top of that. So shout out to Isaiah Rashad. I love him, and everybody should go listen to him. Let's stick to the rappers right quick. This next one, he don't really talk about it. He just throw it up in songs, and people think he's either trolling or not. But I'm still put him on the list because, like I said, he said in his lyrics. So, and he's talented as fuck. So yeah, we claim him. Alphabet Gang claim him, and ain't nothing you can do about it. And that's my boy Tyler the Creator. I love this boy, this motherfucker, and I love him for the fact that when he first came out, I hated him. He was obnoxious. He was a young boy. He was a kid. He was a child, but he was obnoxious. He was an asshole. He was trolling all the time. It was the early internet era back in the beginning. And his music, I just couldn't get with it. I was just like, this Tyler the Creator guy is was weird. He's weird. He's corny, blah, blah, blah. And I was like an old man, get off my lawn type of person when it came to him. But after he dropped that album, Flower Boy, I was like, you know what? I was wrong. Well, no, I wasn't wrong. I was right because I tried to go back and listen to some of his old music. No, I was right. He was a fool, and the music just wasn't for me. What he talked about, the subject matters, all that stuff, just wasn't for me back in those days. When he first came out, but once he matured, and in my eyes start taking the music a lot more seriously, and was actually talking about stuff like being a storyteller and giving us some good quality music. I've been a fan ever since, and ever since Flower Boy, I just been whenever I see Tyler the Creator drop some shit, I run to that. Like, he's just been hitting home run after home run after home run, and I just love his music. So I'm always rep Tyler, uh, and I like the fact that he was an artist who was able to change my mind and make me give him a second chance and give him a second listen. And I have been a fanboy ever since. I still hope to one day see him live in concert because that boy is wild. I've seen video clips, I've seen as far as stage presence and shows and performance. He's been performing in on Grammy Awards and stuff like that. Like, I want to see him live. I don't know what tour or what music festival I got to spend hundreds of dollars to go to. I need to see Tyler the Creator live before I leave this earth. He's one of those artists that I just got to witness that in the, up close and personal. But shout out to him. I love me some Tyler. Tommy, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Thank you, bro. All right, let's see. Let's see. So we talked about Tyler, we talked about Isaiah. Okay, we're gonna stick to the young rappers and the alternatives. And let's do now. This is someone that I absolutely love, and I was introduced to him from his group that he's in or a part of. And I didn't know much about this kid until I was introduced to the group. And I was like, why is it 5,000 members in this group? It's not really 5,000, it's probably like 6 or 7 people. Um, but I love the group Brockhampton. If y'all have never heard of Brockhampton, y'all need to listen to Brockhampton. Their music is amazing. Hip hop, alternative type feel. They like to genre bend, but these group of rappers, it's a collective. It's like rappers, singers, songwriters, producers. in the group. It's just they're such talented young men, and I really, really love them. But their lead rapper or lead performer is by the name of Kevin Abstract, and he has come out with his own solo music as well. So I feel like you should definitely check out the group Brockhampton, but also check out his solo work. He has came out with songs and I think an album or two, but he's come out with his own solo projects under the name Kevin Abstract, and he is so dope. And I love that. I love that. I didn't even know he was queer until I heard one of his songs and he just mentioned having a boyfriend. I was like, what? Well, so look at you, show up and show out. But he is such a talented writer and a talented, just talented all the way. I think Brockhampton's last album or the album before the last album, he did a song where he talked about he pretty much told the story on his father committing, self-deletion of this world and his emotion, and you can feel the emotions out of it's called the light part two, actually, to be exact. um and you can feel the pain and emotion in his lyrics as he's rapping, and that song is so beautiful. And I was like, damn, the fact that you can evoke that emotion while being vulnerable as a black man, as a black queer man, and and dealing with the loss of a parent. That song is tough. I still listen to the song, but when I first heard that song, I literally cried. I ain't gonna lie. I literally cried. I was like, damn, that's heartbreaking. But Kevin is a dope rapper. He's amazing, super talented kid, and I really really love his music. Let's see. We're gonna stick with rappers, but let's go to the female side. Now, there's this female rapper that I discovered via Twitter many years ago, probably about 10 years ago or so. But when I discovered her music and start listening, I was like, this bitch is talented. Super talented, super like rapping skills off the I hate that she's not as big as she should be. I feel like she's very underrated. When people talk about female rappers, they very rarely mention her, and it breaks my heart because she deserves it. Like, she got the skills, she got the songwriting, she got the talent, and that is the rapper Chica. Chica is so dope. Y'all should, if you got any type of streaming service, go look Chica up. It's Chika, and listen to her music. It is so amazing, so dope, and just amazing skills. She is a dope ass rapper, and I really, really love her music. And like I said, she's very underrated, and she don't get the props that she deserves as a lyricist, skilled. And I just really, really, really love her music for real. So shout out to Chica. Also in the rap category, y'all know I had to talk about my boy Lil Nas X. I've been caping for Lil Nas X for a long time, and I stand by. He is a great, talented kid. My only gripe with him is that he's so Gen Z or Gen Alpha, whatever young generation, that he makes his songs are so short. His songs are always like 2 minutes and some change, and I hate that. I need him to give me three full verses and a bridge, like, because his music is actually good. It's actually catchy, and by the time I get used to the songs, or by the time I get in the groove of it, it's over. The song is over. So that's my only beef with Lil Nas X, is that his songs are way too short. He just like, I feel like he just need to give me a couple of 3 or 4 minute songs, doggone it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but I love that kid, and I'm a root for him every step of the way. Lil Nas, he's talented. And he's been online teasing some music, so I need him to go ahead and drop it and quit playing and stop just having it in the background of your YouTube or TikTok videos. Like, drop the songs, doggone it. But he has some good music. Okay, let me make sure I got all the rappers out the way. Orlando is a fool. Ah. Let's see. What up, Randall? Number six. Thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. Oh yeah, yeah. Randall getting them snakes from Pipset. Pipset. I can't wait to get mine too. But you close to her, so you just drive. Lucky you. Orlando says serving body, 10 out of 10. Yep. Look, abs. That boy, I wish I had that body. If I had that body, I'd be shirtless every day. Like I'll be on this podcast shirtless every day. I'm so jealous of him. Oh, okay. I think I got all the rappers out of the way. Now let's switch it up to some singers, some R&B, and a little bit of pop. R&B and a little bit of pop and alternative. So I talked about Tyler the Creator. Well, back when he had his whole collective and big group, Odd Future, that's what it's called, Odd Future. There was a group that was a part of the whole Odd Future collective called the Internet. Well, the lead singer, and she rapped a little bit, but mostly the lead singer, she's a singer of the Internet group, and y'all should definitely check out their music, The Internet. They were all a part of Tyler the Creator's whole Odd Future family back when they first came out and blew up and everything. Sid the Kid, SYD. She is amazing. So y'all need to listen to The Internet's music, but she has her own solo records and she's been featured on other artists' songs and stuff like that. So Sid, SYD, Sid the Kid. When I tell you her vocals, her the smoothness, the soulfulness of her voice is so good, and she's a great songwriter. Um, Songs be catchy, whether it's slow ballads, whether it's more up tempo, like. And she just like Chica, she's another one of those underrated people. Like people don't talk about her enough, and they need to. They be talking about the young R&B singers out there today, people need to bring up Sia. Now I know she's kind of like a Frank Ocean, where well, not really Frank Ocean, because Frank Ocean will go 10 years and not give us anything. But she she can go a while before dropping some stuff, or you might be a minute before you see her featured on someone. But when she drops, whatever song she's on, whether it's her song or somebody else's, she always understands the assignment and she come with it. Like I said, her voice is so beautiful, so amazing. She's super talented, very underrated, and I really wish people pay more attention to Sid the Kid. Now, when the group The Internet came out with Our Future and Tyler the Creator, yeah, they were blown up, especially with the younger cast, people my age. We love the whole Internet group and the vibe and Our Future and all that other stuff, but and I would hear and see them a lot. But since she went solo, I just feel like she should have blown up even more and had more notoriety because she is that talented. So I had to give flowers to see it. I feel like she definitely deserved more credit and more notoriety. Me and Orlando, we on the same wavelength. Oh, let me make sure I didn't forget anybody. Chris, thanks for tapping in. Appreciate you. All right, let's see. Talked about Sid. Who else in the R&B category? Oh, yes. Now, he hasn't dropped an album in a minute, but I think his last album he dropped last year because I did review it on Snake Cinema Podcast. It's one of those episodes that disappeared in the ether. But I did review his album and I loved it. And I love every time I see his name in credits of other artists' albums because he is a songwriter. He's one of those artists that started off as songwriting before he became his own artist, solo artist, and showing his face because he's usually like in secret. But I still love and rock his music to this day. And that is Serpents with Feet. I believe, yes, the last album he came out with was Grip. That album had me in the chokehold when it first came out, and it still has me in the chokehold. I'm not gonna lie to you. Uh, and like I said, every time I see him in credits, I get happy, whether it's just as a songwriter or or as a featured artist, like featuring service with fee, I always run straight to it as soon as I see it. Like, oh, I gotta listen to this. And his voice, his style, his songwriting, his lyric, he's just all out talented. He's amazing. Like I said, if you haven't heard his album Grip, it came out either a year or two ago. Y'all need to go and find that. That album is 10 out of 10. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Ba, 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 ba. All right, now this person is not a rapper nor a singer, but he has been on almost a lot of your favorites. He's been on their albums as either producer, someone who made the beat or whatever, or just featured collaborator, and that is the EDM dance DJ K Tronada. Now, I listened to K Tronada for years before I knew he was a black man. Because, back in the day, even to this day, a lot of EDM or dance DJs don't show their faces. They just, even when they have their own albums, their own records, you hardly ever see their faces on their album covers. And so for the longest time, I would see K Tronada, I would listen to a record, and I'll be like, "Oh, this DJ's dope. This DJ's awesome." And in my head, I'm automatically thinking like he's probably European. He's probably a white boy somewhere, whatever. And come to find out, it was a black man. Not only that, but a queer black man. I'm like, "What the fuck?" I said, "Oh, we winning on double fronts." So, and I love that K Tronada has his own signature sound. It's gotten to the point that now when I hear R&B records, whether it's a different singer or whatever, or a pop, even a pop artist, it's gotten to the point that they don't have to put his name in the lyrics because a lot, I mean, in the titles, because a lot of times they do. That's how famous and amazing he is that they would say like, for example, Kaylani such and such featuring K Tronada or whatever, or this person featuring K Tronada. But there have been times where they did not put his name in the title credits, but I knew it was him that produced the record. Um, that's the good thing that you have your own signature sound. Like my favorite DJ, um, my favorite EDM DJ, Avicii, has his own signature sound. Skrillex has his own signature sound. Kygo has his own signature sound. Sometimes you could just not hear anything else. You could close your eyes, listen to a track, and you know who made their record. K Tronada is one of those ones too. He has his own signature flows, beats, whatever, drops, whatever, to where, like I said, his name ain't got to be in the title credits. If I hear an R&B song or I hear a pop song, and I can hear certain I'm like, Kate Tronada did this. And then I'll go look at the credits and it will say either writers or producers, blah, 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 Kate Tronada. And I'm like, yep, I knew it. I knew it. That man got his, I know his sound now. I listen to him so much. I know his signature styles and stuff like that. So I love that about him. And like I said, his music is amazing. He's been featured on so many people's records, but he has his own records. He has his own albums. And so I definitely want y'all to go check his music out. He is a dope, dope DJ, a dope dance artist, and he's another one I would love to see live. If I go to one of these music festivals like EDC or stuff like that, where it's mostly like dance DJs and stuff, I want to see K Tronada live in concert. I got to. That's like a bucket list. Let's see. Up next. Up next, and we're almost done, y'all. We're almost done. I'm not gonna be before y'all long, but I just have a few more artists I want to highlight and show love to. Um, and this is another artist that has transitioned career-wise, career-wise, transitioned over to acting. So she's been doing more acting than she does music, but she still drops in music. She's still doing music, and I need her to drop a new album ASAP because I just feel like in today's time we just need records from her, like for real, for real. And she was just in the movie I reviewed, Is God Is, and even though she wasn't in that movie long, Her scenes were amazing. She's acting her ass off. She is so great and amazing in everything she's in. But music wise, I need a new record. I need a whole new album. Please, please, please. And that's our girl, Janelle Monae. I love me some. I've been a fan of Janelle Monae since the beginning of her career when she was first introduced to us by Big Boy because she I don't know if she still is, but she was signed to his record label. She was his artist, and she's been hitting it on all fronts. She's been just her stardom, her celebrity has been going up and up and up and up, and like to the point to where now she is acting her ass off in movies and everything else. But we gonna need some more music, Janelle. We gonna need some more music, Janelle. But I need some more music because she's just another one of them ones, just multi-talented dancer, singer, everything. Her stage presence, her performances, like we all remember when she first came out and she was wearing the suits, the tailor suits and everything, and just be fly. She still fly, even though she's not really in the suits anymore. She still flies hell, and just her songwriting, dancing, acting, just all out multi-talented artists. And I love artists who are so multi-talented that they excel in multiple things. But like I said, I need some more music. So please, Janelle, come out with an album or something. Oh, let's see. Now we got another legend. And this legend, when you hear her voice, now she goes by all the pronouns. He, him, she, they, she don't care what you call her. So I'm just gonna go with she as her artist persona. I'm just gonna go with she because it's just natural for me to call her that. But her vocals are her voice is so distinct that when other artists put her on their records, you automatically know. Like Beyonce, Formation, like Drake's Nice for What. It's just when you hear a voice, you like, oh, this about to be some shit. This about to be gone. In my eyes, the queen of bounce music, New Orleans bounce music, but bounce music all together, and that is the great Big Frida. Big Frida has been a legend for years, not just a New Orleans legend. Now, she's been a legend in New Orleans forever, but in the mainstream media, as far as music goes, like I said, everybody taps in and calls Big Frida when they need some ad libs, when they have like a bounce, shaking your ass type song, and they need a good feature. Man, Big Frida is the one that they call on. I got to I got to see her live in Memphis before and meet her. I paid for the meet and greet, and it was well worth it because she's so dope. It's so nice, so kind. But I got to see her live on stage, and when I tell you the performance, the skills, the voice, the fact that she be going 1,000 miles per hour, like with the ad libs in the song, like without skipping a beat, without losing her breath. Like her voice is just like her, the breath control is just like, and when there's no slow times. When you see her live, there's no lull, there's no slow times, you are bouncing and dancing and twerking and moving and shaking your hips and rocking from the time she gets on stage to the time she gets off stage. If that's an hour, you moving for an hour. It's a workout. If that's 2 hours show, but man, Frida, and then her own records, not just her being featured on other people's records, her own records be fire. My favorite album is really was an EP, but album of hers is Third Ward Bounce. I still listen to it. I think that came out like in 2012, 2013. I don't know, but it's been out for a minute and I still listen to them songs to this day. Like Big Frida's music is a workout plan. You can lose weight listening to Big Frida's music. And when you go to New Orleans, especially during Mardi Gras or during the prides and all that stuff, they gonna be rocking and jamming to Frida and amazing. Like I said, for those who don't know shit about Big Frida, go listen to Beyonce's Formation. You'll hear her vocals. I did not come to play with you hoes. I came to slay, bitch. Or if you listen to Drake's Nice for What, she pops up in the end of that doing the ad libs, and it's like as soon as I heard her voice, I was like, not Drake, to hire Big Frida for that. Like that was just, and you got to see her in that music video. She showed up, and so that was just dope. That was just dope. But I love Big Frida. Big Frida is a legend for real, a legend in the making, and I just really, really love her, and I want to go see her live again. Like that. It's been some years. It's probably like 5 or 6 years since she came to Memphis for that show, and I want to see her live again because, like I said, that was a concert for the day, for the ages. So shout out to Big Frida. Love Big Frida. All right, we are down to the final two. And like I said, this was no particular order. I was just going down this list from old school to new school. But these last two have been killing it for the past couple of years, at least for the past 2 years. They've been killing it. You've been seeing them on Tiny Desk, you've been seeing them at the award shows. They've been winning Grammys and all this other stuff. Like they deserve it because they are that fucking talented. And I love that both of them are so outspoken on interviews, social media, all that jazz, and they just loud, proud, queer, by whatever you want to label them. They don't care, but they are true to who they are. They play with different styles. They play with different form. They play with different um, genres. Being like, especially this next one I'm about to pull up. If you listen to her music from the time she was used to be just a YouTuber recording videos to today, it's a wide spectrum of styles and songs and genres, but she is so talented. I love her. And the first person I'm bringing up is Doechii. I don't care what nobody say. Doechii is one of them ones. She is that bitch. She is who she say she is, and she is so talented. And her album Alligator Bites Never Heal, perfection, 10 out of 10. And I don't care what nobody say. The haters can call her an industry plant or whatever bullshit. She's just that damn talented, and people can't stand when a black woman, a black queer woman, a dark skinned woman is that talented and that confident and that bold in their truth. And she just got a gift. The universe blessed her with a gift of songwriting, of singing, of rapping. She's just talented all around and just amazing. So I love me some Doechii. I'm a keep riding with Doechii. That's the bisexual queen. That's the that's one of them ones. That's one of them new school, new age um artists that is gonna 10 years, 15, 20 years from now, will still be doing the damn thing. And she didn't just pop up all of a sudden. She's been doing this forever. Like she used to upload her songs and her in her bedroom recording songs on her YouTube channel. If you go back, I don't know if she deleted those old videos, but they were there for years. And so if you call her at the beginning of her career, when she was just starting out before she signed to any record label, you could see the progression and you could see that she's been doing this shit forever. Forever. Um, Before she, became a media darling. So shout out to Doechii. The next person and the last person on this list, um, pretty much the same vein, been working behind the scenes in music, been doing his thing forever, for a long time, and the universe is finally blessing him to the point to where now the mainstream media is catching on. They just now catching on to what we've been new, and that is Duran Bernard. That's my boy. I love me some Duran. He is crazy. He's the only celebrity I follow on Twitter, on Threads. The only celebrity I follow on Threads. He is hilarious with the memes, the reactions, everything, and he's just so funny as hell. But he's funny in person. Like if you want to see his personality, go on YouTube and watch some of his interviews. That boy is naturally funny. If he wasn't a singer, he could be a comedian because it just naturally the wit just naturally comes to that mind. Like just so funny. But his above all this, his music is so good to the point like people he's a mixture of everything. Like He could be a Prince, he could be a Luther, he can melt and mesh into a lot of different things. He could give you that soul churchy singing type. Um and it's just pure R&B bliss, greatness, amazing. You be dancing, you be jamming. And his vocals, he's just great singer. Like I just really love his singing, um, his artistry. You could tell he was born in the music industry. You could tell that he used to be a background singer for other artists. You could just tell that he really studied the game of music. He studied the art. He studied his ass off on top of being talented, a talented singer. And so I just love me some Duran Bernard, and him running to get that Grammy he won this year, well deserved. It was so hilarious, but it was well deserved. He deserved that Grammy, and the way he acted when he ran to go get that jut off from that stage, that's how he is on all his interviews. He is just that hilarious. And I was just smiling from ear to ear when I saw that he won, and it was just great. Just great. I really love him. Oh shoot, I forgot. Charge it to my head, not my heart. I got one more singer, one more singer. The picture, I just did not see it. In the same vein of Duran Bernard and Dolce, gotta give, got to give props and shout out and love. And I just reviewed her album as well, a couple of episodes ago, and that is Kaylani. I cannot go without mentioning Kaylani. She is also super talented. Everything I said about her in a couple of episodes ago when I reviewed her latest album, her newest album. Yeah, I stand by everything I said. She's one of the best R&B singers today, and can't nobody take that from her. And she's been doing it forever. I remember when she first came out, probably like 2013, 2014, something like that, probably before that. But I remember listening to her first EP when it first came out. I believe one of my sisters introduced. They said, "Hey, have you heard of this girl named Kaylani? You gotta listen. You gotta listen." And I listened to it, and I've been a fan ever since. And she's another one of the ones I got to see live in concert. The dancing, the singing, the voice control, the everything, the songwriting. Like Kaylani is one of them ones, and I really love her music. I love her talent. She's great, amazing on stage. If she ever, she's going on tour now in both the UK and the US. If she comes to your city, go watch, go see. And Duran is one of the opening acts. I think the closest they're going to be to us is Nashville in September. I'm not sure if I'm gonna try my best to go, but I'm not sure. You know, it depends on the budget and the uh, my work schedules, because y'all know I got two jobs now. But I really want to see that concert, to see both of them live. But I've seen her live before, and one of the greatest to hit the stage. Like great R&B artist, amazing. So if you've been sleeping on Kaylani, please stop, wake up, and go listen and check out her music. So that is it for my list of celebrating Black queer artists, music artists for Juneteenth, for Black Music Month, for Pride Month. I recommend all these artists, and I gave y'all different genres. I gave y'all rock and roll. I gave y'all hip hop. I gave y'all R&B. I gave y'all some old school. I gave y'all some new school. I gave y'all some dance EDM options. I gave y'all some of everything, some alternatives. Please go support these artists, not just because they're gay or lesbian or trans or bi or non-binary, but because they actually got fucking talent. They can actually sing, they can actually rap, they can actually rock or write. They aren't industry plants. A lot of them been doing this for over a decade with no fanfare, and then all of a sudden the mainstream media, the big wigs decided to give them their flowers. Like, no, a lot of these artists I've been listening to since my early 20s in college. Like they've been around forever and they finally getting their just dues. But I wanted to give them their flowers here on Snake Cinema Podcast because they deserve it. So thank y'all so much for tapping in and listening to me. As the young people say, glaze these artists. These new terminologies, I don't know. I can't keep up with it, but I don't mind glazing these artists. Pause, no pause, because I'm gay. I don't mind bigging up these artists, telling you about these artists, sharing my passion, my love for these artists, because they are that fucking talented. Let's see. Father Don said, Janelle, that girl, she has done work with Prince. Yep, she's also done work with Prince. Even though she signed the Big Boys record label, Prince was her mentor before he died. Yes, there was another fun fact. Um, so yeah, she's when you get a stamp of approval by Prince, not just Janelle Monae, but her. I wish her was part of the LGBTQ community. I really do, because she's so fine. But but she's not. But Janelle Monae, her, and dang, it was another singer, another R&B girl. Dang, her name is slipping me. I see her face, but her name is slipping me. Either way, if you get a stamp of approval by Prince himself, that means you got fucking talent. Cause he don't play. Prince will let you know when you whack. He will let you know when you suck. Like, so when he says you the next one up, I like it don't matter what nobody else say. It don't matter what the billboards say. It don't matter. Cause Prince, he knows. Even though he's number 6 on my '90s list, he knows talent. He is like the goat of catching talent, and catching lightning and being like, "Yo, that girl is next, or that boy is this, or that artist is good." Like he don't play. I miss watching Big Frida cooking live. I love her. Oh yeah, I forgot she did that. Plenty of times. Yeah, I forgot about that. Me too, Father Dunn. I love Duran in interviews. That boy is crazy. Every time I see him in interviews. Even Joe Budden, Joe Budden podcast, he interviewed him, but he had it exclusive on his Patreon. I didn't join his Patreon, but I paid the $10 to watch that interview. I did. I was like, you know what? Here you go, Joe. There you go. You got my $10 for this one time because I needed to see how Duran and the Joe Budden podcast and the toxicity of those men deal with Duran, and it did not disappoint. That interview was worth that $10. I watched it. It was dying laughing the way he was going at their ass. Pause. No pause. But the way he was like checking them in their face, I was like, yeah, Duran, you a fool. Oh God. But that is it. Like I said, next week is another music week. We have new albums and singles by some amazing artists. Did I put it in? Nope. But the rapper Vent 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 Mensa, not Vent Mensa, wrong one. Vince Staples. Vince Staples just dropped a new album. Cry Baby. Infinity Song just dropped their new album. YG, the rapper YG, he just dropped a new single called Insecure. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, to hear black men rap about their insecurities. I love this new age of black men talking about mental health and being open about it and being vulnerable. I love this shit. But anyways, I'll talk more about that song because when I listened to it yesterday, I was like, whoa. If you know YG is one of them LA gangster rappers. So to hear him talk about this, I can't wait for that album to drop. If this is his single, first thing I need that album to drop. But and then lastly, who else? Oh, Rhapsody, the rapper Rhapsody. I love Rhapsody, and she just dropped a new single called "God's Got an Afro." We're gonna talk more about that next week. We will. I can't wait. But yeah, super excited. I love talking music with y'all. Um, And so, yeah, so that's gonna be next week's episode. Tonight, OTP on DJ's channel, Royal Caribbean Exotics. Check them out. I will still probably be in Nashville for my nephew's birthday, so I won't be able on, but go support them. DJ Brandon, Brian, Ash, the whole crew. And then check out Wiz, Sophisticated Ignorance tomorrow. I mean tonight at 8:40, 8:45 Central Time. Wiz Sophisticated Ignorance podcast. And then tomorrow we got Nikki and Lace with Show Me Your Rack podcast. So check them out. What up? What up? Big Double L. Thanks for tapping in. Um, Nikki and Lace, Show Me Your Rack. Check out their podcast at 12 noon Central Time. And then Father Don, Everyday Keepers. And then Fred and AJ's The Serpent Sunday Show. That is it. Again, thank you to our sponsors, ENT Reptiles, for always supporting the channel, supporting your boy. Check us out on the Shenanigans podcast Thursdays at 6:30 Central Time. And of course, we'll be back here Saturday, 9 a.m. Central Time. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for always supporting your boy. Peace.